President Roosevelt appointed as his new chief engineer someone who couldn't quit, Army Colonel George Washington Goethals. No one could have been more different from John Stevens. Goethals was formal, polite, spotless in his white uniform. The workers didn't like him at first, but slowly he gained their trust and ran things brilliantly, in his own style. As before, the work continued at Culebra Cut. Thousands of new workers, mainly from Caribbean islands, came to join in. They thought the pay was terrific. $6 a week for 60 hours of work. 60 hard, dangerous hours. Every day, the temperature at the bottom of the cut reached 120 degrees. If you survived that, you might be killed by falling rock or accidental explosions of dynamite. And there was the rain. Some months it rained every day, all day. The sides of the mountains often collapsed, burying men and machinery. Despite the hardships, nearly all the workers, the diggers, shovel operators, nurses, and cooks, believed they were part of a great adventure. They would remember it with pride the rest of their lives. George Goethals supervised every detail as the great locks were built at the two ends of the canal. On the Caribbean side, a set of 3 connected locks were constructed at Gatun. Huge steel cableways were used to carry the buckets of cement. On the Pacific side, 1 lock was built at Pedro Miguel and 2 at Miraflores, about a mile away. Another artificial lake connected the locks. Year after year, the work went on. George Goethals ran things so well that his workers dug more in one day than the French had in a month. The biggest obstacles were Panama's climate, terrain, and its distance from sources of material in the United States. The first test run was made in October 1913. The tugboat Gatun became the first ship to pass through the Panama Canal. Everything worked perfectly. The grand opening was in August 1914, as the Atlantic steamer Ancon took a new shortcut to the Pacific. There were no parades, no celebrations. In America, everyone's attention had turned to Europe and the beginning of the First World War. Theodore Roosevelt's dream came true in 1915, when American battleships passed from sea to sea through the canal. In 1919, an armada of 33 ships made the transit. Because of its location in Central America, the Panama Canal became a vital link in the world's transportation chain. On a trip from New York to San Francisco, it saves 8,000 miles, compared to rounding the Horn of South America. Perhaps more important, the canal made sea trade between Western Europe, North America, and East Asia quicker and cheaper. Today, the canal handles 12,000 ships a year, 24 hours a day. It takes about 8 hours to make the 50-mile transit. Ships carry Italian clothing, Japanese electronics, and German cars. Every ship that passes through uses 52 million gallons of water in the locks. The rain fills the lakes, and the lakes fill the locks. Panama's rain, the curse of the French and American engineers, turned out to be the very thing that makes the canal possible. The canal works because it works with the country's environment, not against it. Except for the locks, it looks like a natural part of the landscape. There's no clue that the path you're traveling was built at a tremendous human cost. In 1977, the USA and Panama signed a new treaty. By its terms, the canal will belong to Panama at noon, December 31, 1999. The canal will remain neutral, but the United States has the right to defend and protect it. The canal is still considered an important military location. Theodore Roosevelt died in 1919. He never saw the Panama Canal after it opened, but he believed it was a great achievement. At the beginning of his presidency, in 1901, he had said, "No single great material work which remains to be done on this continent is of such importance to the American people." Why did the United States build a canal where it did? And why is the canal's location still important today?